Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am joined by guest Trevor Bryan today to explain our reasons for why the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South this season. Despite the fact that the Carolina Panthers are 5-9 so far this season, they still control their own destiny of winning the NFC South. The Buccaneers, they're currently in first place in the NFC South at 6-8, which means that the Panthers are only one game back from first place. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. Why will the Panthers win the NFC South?
All right. What's up, guys? Obviously, we're here to talk about why we think the Panthers are going to win NFC South. Statistically, right now, we have like a 19% chance of making it. But honestly, I think our odds are a lot better. I think considering the schedule we have remaining, obviously, I think this upcoming game is going to be the toughest one we have for the rest of the year against the Lions. But we are at home and under Wilkes. We've been pretty good at home, so I think we can take care of the Lions. But I think that we have a good chance of winning out. We've looked pretty good over these past several weeks. Obviously, we've lost a few of them, but I mean it's going to happen in the NFL. But considering the remaining schedule of the Bucks and the Falcons and the Saints, I think we have the best chance to win out, which would thus make us NFC South champions. So really just the way we've been playing, the way we've been able to dominate defensively and establish a good running game. Obviously, that didn't really work well for us this past Sunday, but I think that we should stick to that formula, and I think we can still win games if we do that. So yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I totally believe that the Carolina Panthers can win the NFC South. For the fans that, if you guys don't remember, the Carolina Panthers in 2014, we were 3-8-1. It looked like they were going to be out of this thing. Then they won four straight, won the NFC South. And I truly believe that this Carolina Panthers team could do the same thing no matter who the quarterback is for the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I know a lot of Panthers fans, including myself, they're not fans of Sam Darnold. And although Sam Darnold, he hasn't turned it over in each of his three starts, he hasn't necessarily been an effective quarterback per se. But I think that the Carolina Panthers can win this division because they got a good running game. That's what carries you over in December. They got a guy named Deonta Foreman. He's really good at what he does. I know he had a bad game against the Steelers, but he's not going to do that again. So when you look at it from that perspective, you think that the Carolina Panthers running game, they're going to show up, and that means that they're going to be able to grind it out. I know the Lions, they have a good rushing defense, but you know what? I trust our backs to get the job done. I think that we can beat the Lions. I mean, I'm seeing that the weather's going to be like 33 degrees. It's going to be windy, which this is going to be really bad for the Lions because the Lions, they're kind of more of a passing attack kind of offense, and with those kind of conditions, it's going to be really difficult to throw the football, which favors the running game, which favors the Carolina Panthers. This is a game that the Panthers, they could definitely wear out the Lions. I know that the Lions are 6-1 in their last 7 games, but I don't see the Lions continuing their streak. I think the Carolina Panthers are going to go ahead, force the upset this weekend because we've been pretty good at home. I know we just lost to the Steelers, but you know what? The Steelers are always a team that we've always had trouble beating with, no matter the year.
Yeah.
So I think,
Historically, we're what, 1-7 against them now? So
yeah. So I think the Lions are a game that we can definitely steal. And then you look at the Week 17 game we play against the Bucks. I think that one to me is going to decide who will win the NFC South. And then you got Week 18 at the Saints. That's a game the Panthers should win because we're playing against a worse quarterback than Jameis Winston, and we did beat the Saints the first time when we had Matt Rule as our coach and when Jameis Winston was the quarterback for the Saints. So I see no reason why the Panthers can't beat the Saints. So I'm looking at this remaining schedule. I'm thinking the Carolina Panthers can win at least 2 out of these 3 games, and I think that we got a real shot to beat this version of the Bucks because this Bucks team right now is on the verge of imploding if they haven't already
yeah,
imploded. This team looks like they're ready to
trouble.
give up on Todd Bowles. Tom Brady looks washed. Tom Brady looks like he's ready to retire. So I could definitely see the Carolina Panthers winning out either with Sam Darnold or with PJ Walker. I think we can win out with either one of those guys. I know those guys aren't necessarily good quarterbacks, but I think that with the defense that they have, because they have the best defense in the division, the best running game in this division, and quarterback, they just got to make sure they got to not turn over the football, and they're going to win all the remaining of their games. So that's how I'm looking at it.
That is true. And you got to think about it. This is a team. This is a team that plays hard, man. Like just watching this, we're a scrappy football team. Like we go out there and we're gonna play hard. And I think that that's something that's really valuable in the National Football League. I think there's a handful of teams that just are just scrappy and just play hard. I think we're one of them. And I think with the hopes we still have, I think we're going to take advantage of it. We play hard for Wilkes. We want him to be the head coach. The players seem to want him to be the head coach. So I think we're going to do everything we can to try to put him in the best position to get that job for next year. And I think making the playoffs is going to be a good chance, or would give him a good chance of being a candidate for that position. So I think we're going to go out there. We're going to play hard. I do agree. I think this is a game that we can steal against the Lions, and then it's going to come down to Bucs and Saints, obviously. But we can't let the Saints sneak up on us week 18, and we just got to go do our thing. Sam Darnold's been playing. I think he's been playing. Obviously, like you said, not super effectively, but he's not losing us games. We've had problems in the past with Sam Darnold, Baker, guys just turning the ball over. But obviously, that's something that I'm so glad Sam Darnold has not been turning the ball over. And that's just what we need right now. We just need a game manager that can be slightly effective, but just won't lose us games. And I think that Sam Darnold's fitting into that semi well right now. If we just keep this rolling, I think we can definitely maybe win a wild-card game. So
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Carolina Panthers, they could definitely win a wild card game. And no, I'm not saying this because I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. I'm saying this because I'm seeing if we end up winning the division, we play the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card round. Dak Prescott is known to lose in games in the playoffs that he shouldn't lose to. So I think that's definitely a game that the Carolina Panthers can steal if they get into that stage. But anyways, you look at the schedule of these remaining teams, you look at the outlook of these other teams. There's no other team that I feel better about than the Carolina Panthers. Like I said with the Bucs, they basically Todd Bowles basically lost the team, and then the team's ready to implode if they haven't already imploded. I mean, Tom Brady just looks washed. Yeah, they might win the Cardinals game in Week 16. That's because the Cardinals are a terrible football team. But even so, if the Panthers win the Lions game, they're going to still be within reach. And then you look at these other two teams. You look at the Saints. They got the toughest remaining schedule. They got to play against the Browns in the freezing cold. We know dome teams don't do well in cold weather. Then they got to go to the Eagles with or without Jalen Hurts. The Eagles are going to be a tough out. And then they play Week 18 against the Panthers. I mean, they might be able to steal that one, but I don't see that happening. Then you look at the Falcons. I mean, their season, they're still in it technically, but I feel like their season's basically over. They're 1-4 against the division. They're starting Desmond Ridder. I mean, they're basically playing for next year at this point, even though they're only one game back, because they don't really have the tiebreakers over any of those teams. And let's be honest, if Eddie Pinheiro doesn't miss those two kicks, the Atlanta Falcons, they're already basically out of this. Right now. That's right, yeah. So there's no team that I feel better about than the Carolina Panthers. You think about the defense. We got pieces. We got Brian Burns. We got J.C. Horn. We got Derek Brown. Jeremy Chin. Shaq Thompson, too. Don't forget about him. And then you look at the running game. Like I said, you got Deonta Foreman. You got that Black Shoe guy. He can run the football well. Chuba Hubbard. He's chipping in some tough.
Right,
yeah, and we got DJ Moore. We got Terrace Marshall.
Yeah, obviously. I think a point of emphasis moving forward is we need to get the ball in DJ Moore's hands, man. Like we've been running the ball effectively and making that our game, which I'm fine with, but we need to get the ball in DJ Moore's hands when we need to. I think this last game they really shut down our run game, and because our passing attack hasn't been extremely effective, we weren't able to rally in that game. I think that we need to start getting DJ Moore the ball some more and just let him go to work. I think that should be a point of emphasis moving forward, so that we can have something to rely on, so we can establish an effective passing game once we establish the run game in future games.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. All right, so I think both of us are going to agree that we can definitely win out. I feel like we have to win out if we have to win the NFC South. I'm pretty sure you're kind of more or less in the same boat that I am.
Yeah,
but the good news is,
yeah, because obviously we control our own destiny. I know the Bucs control their own destiny as well, but I think we can win this thing over the Bucs. So.
I think so too. And let me wrap this up by asking you the final question. All right, give us a percentage of what you think the Carolina Panthers will do in terms of winning the NFC South. How good are you feeling about this?
I'm gonna be honest. I'll go probably 55 to 60%. I'm thinking that, New York Times has us at a 19% chance right now, just with X's and O's and everything. But I'm saying it's either 50-50 or 55-45. I think that we can do it.
I'm feeling
a little slightly above halfway.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this too. I'm seeing the New York Times, I'm seeing ESPN, I'm seeing all these odds. They're giving us very little chance. I think we got I'm actually going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to give us a 65% chance of us winning the South. I really can see it, especially if we beat the Lions. We beat the Lions this Saturday. The Panthers are going to win the NFC South. You heard it here firsthand. I think we're going to sweep Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks. I mean, the Bucks, they look like they're kind of ready to give up on the year. The Carolina Panthers, they're the team that's playing the hardest this point in the year, and they have a favorable schedule. We take care of business this Saturday against the Lions. The division title is right there for us, right in the taking, basically. And I truly believe that the Carolina Panthers can go ahead and essentially win the NFC South. And who would have thought that after we fired Matt Rule, traded away Christian McCaffrey, traded away Robbie Anderson?
Exactly.
So I think the Carolina Panthers, they got a real shot at this thing.
Yeah, I believe that's something that gives Steve Wilkes a strong consideration for head coach next year.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. All right, well, thanks for being on the show, Trevor. Appreciate you coming on here. All right, make sure you follow his Instagram at trev.2. All right, the link will be in the description box below. Again, appreciate you coming on here to tell us why the Carolina Panthers are going to win the NFC South.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right.
See ya, bro.
See you later.
See ya, bro. Yup. Bye. That is why Trevor Bryan truly believes that the Carolina Panthers are going to win the NFC South. I also believe that too. He's also a lot more optimistic than what the New York Times and ESPN and all these other projection outlets are saying. I'm also feeling the same way too. I'm feeling very, very optimistic that the Carolina Panthers can win the NFC South. I'm giving us a 60 to 65% chance. Meanwhile, Trevor's giving us about a 50, 55, maybe even 60% chance of winning the NFC South. Either way, though, we're both feeling pretty good about the Panthers winning the NFC South. We might be Panthers fans, but you know what? Let's be optimistic for once in a while, man, because under the Matt Rule era, Panthers fans were never optimistic whatsoever. But I'm feeling pretty good about this because whoever plays the hardest typically wins. And right now, the Carolina Panthers are playing the hardest out of these four teams in the NFC South that is going on. So that is why the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South, and they're going to do it with an 8-9 record, and they're going to host a playoff game. That's what I truly believe. That's what Trevor Bryan believes in as well. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and @SportsGuyTalking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video. Comment down below. Check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.